Okay, and welcome back. So we're going to work on a word problem incorporating the quadratic formula. So here's the word problem. The length of a rectangular box is 2 inches more than 3 times the width. The area is 19 square inches. What are the dimensions of the box? Okay, well, first of all, let me get rid of some things here. In word problems, ultimately what you want to do is symbolize everything you can, like words that represent numbers like this right here. 3. Okay, I'm going to cross it out and write a 3 here. Let me see. 2, 19. There's a 19 right here. And so now what we're going to do is get rid of like words like the. We don't need the. Here's another the. Don't worry about the last sentence. We'll need that though. Square inches. Okay, well just remember inches squared, just remember that, and then inches, we don't need that. Just remember our final answer has to have inches. Let me see, so the length of a rectangular box, okay, I don't really care about a rectangular box either, it's really not important, but let's just say for instance we did draw it out, so if we're going to cross that out, let's at least draw the image. Okay, and that's it right there. So now length. Okay, so length is going to be L. Let's just call that L. And we have the word is. Okay, so that's an equal sign. And more than, so more than is like he is 2 years more than my age. So that means I'm adding something. So more than is going to mean plus, something plus 2. And 3 times the width. Okay, the width we don't know. So we know that's a W. 3 times the W, so 3 times the W. Okay, so that means 3 times the W, so 3W, right? Okay, cool. So the area is, that's equal 19. Okay, so let's see. We got rid of all the words. Nice. Okay, so the width, we don't know what that is. Ultimately, do we have any numbers that talk about the width? No, here it just says 3 times the width, so the width must be all alone. The area is equal to 19 square inches, so area is equal to 19 square inches. And the length of the rectangular box, okay, L is equal to 2 inches more than 3W, so 2 more than this is basically 3W plus 2, okay? So whenever you have the words, basically it's going to be written like this: some number plus the variable. So in this case here, just read it backwards. Just go 3W plus 2. Okay, you see that? 3W plus 2. I'm kind of reading backwards. I'm going this direction right here. Okay. Alright, so now what I want to do is set up an equation incorporating all this. Let's put this in parentheses, okay? And let's do this. We know that area is equal to length times width, right? So W times L is equal to A. Okay, you're probably used to saying area is equal to length times width. Okay, we're just writing it this way, just so that way it sets up nicely. So now my width is going to be just W, and my length is 3W plus 2 is equal to my area, which is 19. Let's write this quadratic formula first. Okay, quadratic formula. Okay, so the question's asking, now, before we do this, read the last question. What are the dimensions of the box? So what we need to do is answer this question. What is W and L? Okay, that's going to be our goal in the very end, is what is the width and the length. Okay, so now what we're going to get is 3W squared. 3W squared, distribute the W to the 2, plus 2W is equal to 19. Okay, is equal to 19. Okay, now we have a quadratic equation. Set it to 0. So 3W squared plus 2W minus 19 is equal to 0. Okay, so set up our A, B, and C. A, B, and C. This is going to be A, this is going to be B, and this is going to be C. So A is equal to 3, B is equal to 2, and C is equal to negative 19. So now draw our little bar, and now we start plugging things in. So negative b, in this case here, x is equal to negative b is going to be negative 2 plus, okay, not plus or minus, just plus because we're working with a geometric figure. And there's no such thing as a negative side to any type of geometric structure. So plus the square root of b squared, so that's going to be 2 squared minus 4 times a times c. So a is 3 and c is negative 19. Okay, and that is all over 2a. So that's 2 times 3. Let's simplify. X equal negative 2 plus the square root of 4 minus, and we have another minus multiplied times it, so that's going to be plus, and 4 times 3 is 12 times 19. You can go ahead and use your calculator for this, but you'll get 228. Okay, and that's all over 2 times 3, which is 6. And simplify some more. You'll get x is equal to negative 2 plus the square root of 4 and 228 is 232. That's all over 6. So you can use your calculator for this. You can try breaking this up into square roots, but just use your calculator for this so that way you can get an approximation. And what we're going to do is round off our answer at the very end to, let's just say, 1 decimal place, just so that way it's easy. I didn't specify it in the beginning. Sometimes some teachers might say, you know, round it off to the nearest decimal point or the nearest whole number or the nearest tenth or hundredth or thousandth. Here we're just going to round it to 1 decimal place. So the square root of 232 is going to come out to be 15.2315. 2315 divided by 6, and when you calculate negative 2 plus 15.2315, you're going to get 13.2315 divided by 6, and you're going to get x is equal to, in this case here, this will be 2.0525. And since we're really only interested in 1 decimal place, then we'll just go ahead and round it off to here. Since this is a 0, this will just stay at 2. Had this been like a 5 or a 6, and this would go up to a 3. Okay, so if you had like 2.26, then that would round off to 2.3. But in this case here, this is not the case, and we're going to round this off to just 1 decimal place, so we'll end up with 2.2. So that means x, which basically is going to be our width, okay, so otherwise known as the width in here, since that's what we used since that's what we were looking for in the first place, width is going to be 2.2. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go back over here and write width is equal to 2.2. Now to calculate the length, well, in that case, here it is right here. Length is equal to 3 times 2.2 plus 2. So this is going to be 3 times 2.2 is going to be 6.6 plus 2, which is going to be 8.6. And our answer is going to be length is equal to 8.6. Now, we were talking about inches, feet, yards. What were we talking about here? Inches. And they're not square inches, because if they had been square inches, then we'd be talking about area. And all we're doing is talking about the sides of the box. So just think of it this way. If you're talking about the area space in your room, you're multiplying 2 numbers. If you're talking about the length of the side of your room, you're just talking about feet. And if you're talking about like maybe your keyboard, the side of the keyboard is only a few inches. You would never say, yeah, the length of my keyboard is 5 square inches. It doesn't make any sense, or 20 square inches doesn't make any sense. So anyway, make sure you understand what the difference is between inches and square inches. So I went over this in detail. I hope this helps, and good luck with your homework and tests in the future, and thank you for watching.